All right, we're now here with Jared the Monkey God Brooks, number one ranked strawweight contender. He's going to be facing Joshua Pasha for the one strawweight world title. Thanks for joining the MMA Superfan. How are you doing, man?
Thank you, brother. I'm good. How about you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm very excited for the fight and everything that's coming. One championship has like four events so close together that are just absolutely huge, and we're going to close out the year with a bang, man, especially with your fight, which we'll get to right now, man. Obviously, we're here to talk about that huge fight between you and Pacio. Let's begin by talking about your readiness for this fight. How's your training and how much, preparation have you done? How ready are you?
Well, I mean, I was ready June 3rd, but that just didn't go through. So we've just been fine tuning and just making sure that we stay in shape. And, I'm in the best shape of my life right now. So I have the best workout partners in the world. And how can you complain? I'm going to be, I'm going to be rushing forward and just making sure that I'm the one championship strawweight champion.
Yeah, you look, pretty phenomenal in your last few fights, especially those in one. Are we gonna see the best version of Jared Brooks?
I don't think anybody's seen the best version of me. Yeah, I don't think anybody's seen the best version of me at all yet. I know that I'm capable of, like Kamaru Usman said in that Damian Maia fight, he was like, you haven't seen 30% of what I can do. And it's just depending on what your canvas is. And Joshua Pacio was a hell of a canvas, don't get me wrong, but I'm willing to go out there and show my art against him.
Yeah, man. Talk about Joshua Pasha for a minute here. I know you've probably answered this question many times, but let's break it down again. What do you think of his skills? What's your opinion of him as a fighter?
I think that Josh is good. He's all around pretty decent. He's a wushu world champion, so you can't sleep on that. He's good on the feet. I would say his jiu-jitsu is pretty good. I would say it's like a B minus. I would say his wrestling is like a C minus. But yeah, his striking is definitely something different. But I'm definitely prepared for that. I have some of the best workout partners in the world. Like I said, Justin Scoggins, when you have Justin Scoggins training with you every day, it's kind of hard not to be confident going against a striker.
All right, man. Yeah, you entered this promotion. You had, three great fights so far. Meanwhile, this entire time that you've been wrecking it, Pasha has been out. He hasn't fought. So obviously you're battle ready. You're sharper than he is at this point. But do you think that's to your advantage, or will that not matter?
It doesn't matter, man. There's no game plan. There's nothing that involves it besides you training, right? But if you're thinking about what you're gonna do before you get in the octagon, then you're in the wrong sport. So I'm just going out there, and I'm just gonna be a very hard opponent for anybody, especially when they face me the first time, man. It's very hard.
All right, I know you've probably, taken a look at his style and studied him, but in what ways do you think you're the better fighter?
I think I'm all around just way better than him. Like I'm way more athletic. I hit harder. I think I'm better looking. I think that for champion, I speak more. Don't get me wrong, he's like the Manny Pacquiao over there in the Philippines, but people know that real shit comes from America, and I'm gonna give him a good American ass kick.
Speaking of Manny Pacquiao, he did watch one of the one events like previously. I think headlined by like Edward Folayang or something like that. But he
Yeah,
wasn't. He was in the crowd. Would it be exciting to see him in there in the crowd?
that'd be really cool. I'm not a huge boxing fan, but yeah, Manny Pacquiao, he's a legend, and he's definitely like a familiar face to everybody. So yeah, I would love to see Manny Pacquiao and some famous faces over there.
All right, man. Well, interesting point you brought up in another interview I just watched recently. You said you don't study your opponents, but you study their coaches.
Mhm.
That being said, what do you think the game plan is going to be for them? How do you think Pasha is going to approach this fight?
Like I said, I think he's just gonna be trying to be grounded. He's gonna try to catch me with knees coming in and elbows coming in, and he's gonna be a little bit shorter. He's gonna try to make himself a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage as well, and show him that I'm more than just a wrestler or more than just a jujitsu practitioner.
All right, man. There's this famous quote that I don't remember who said it, but it was one of those HBO 24/7. He said, "A fighter once asked what he believed in. He said, 'I believe in me He answered, I have no other choice. Now, confidence is good. It's needed in this game. With that being said, have you ever envisioned any possible way that Pacio can win this fight? Have you let those thoughts cross your mind?
I've looked at every possible situation. As a fighter, you have to look at every possible situation. You know, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. But at the end of the day, I know, like, when I step into the cage, that nobody is beating me. So just like Mike Tyson said, another quote, it's like, when I step in that cage, I'm a god. And I do believe that I get into that God mode and nobody's going to be able to beat me. And whoever says that they can, then come and test it out.
All right, man. You'll be fighting in Manila, obviously one of the most rabid crowds in the entire world. It's a different experience. These fans, they follow their heroes like fiercely. So, but then again, the opposition can earn, their respect with great performances. Are you excited to face this hostile crowd? And do you think you'll win some new fans over?
That is literally how I like it. I like the hostile crowd, especially when I know that they want to go against me, and that's how I felt my whole life. I feel like I've been against so much odds, so much animosity between either fighters or the people around them, and that's just the fight game, man. So yeah, I would love to show the fellow Pinoys a hell of a fight and make them fans of me.
Well, we were just in Baguio City a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago, looking at Pasha's training. And definitely, they've been preparing for you very well. What do you think of their entire team, man? I know there's, we've spoken a lot about, how they operate over there, but what's your opinion on Team Lakai?
Well, one, we'll see if he's preparing for me well in the fight, right? So, I mean, you can have all of the best wrestlers, all of the best, people in there trying to work, but nobody's gonna ever feel like me, right? So, we'll see how that preparation goes. But I definitely worked with better people than Joshua Pacio. Especially on the feet, and better wrestling and better jiu-jitsu. So I do think that their team is really good. I do think that they're old gen. They're not next gen. So yeah, we'll see how that new gen versus next gen goes.
All right. Well, of course, we have to ask you about your prediction for this fight. How do you see this playing out, and how do you see it ending?
I want it to be ended in the first round. I want to make a statement. I want to make sure that I get that $50,000. Chatri is gonna, make it rain on me, and that's all that matters.
Do you think it's going to be an easy fight, or is it going to be like something that you have to really work for? What round do you think it's going to end in?
No fight is easy, and like I said, the first round, I want to get it down in the first round. And like I said, no fight is easy, but in the first round is what I'm looking at. Nobody's gonna take that away from me.
All right, man. Well, you did mention also in another interview that you weren't opposed to facing. I don't know how much truth there is to this, but you weren't opposed to facing Danny King at flyweight or Kevin Billingon at bantamweight. You said that, quote unquote, at the end of the day, I will beat your whole team. Was that just good promo, or do you really have aspirations to move up to flyweight and bantamweight?
I could beat Danny King Dad, and I could easily beat Kevin Bellington. Right? Those guys, they're just not in the realm of as me as much as like wrestling and jujitsu, right? So yeah, they're great strikers. Every one of those guys are great strikers, but they're not going to be hanging with me when it goes to the ground and my type of prowess when I'm on top of them. They'll be like, damn, who's this little 125 pounder that feels like a 250-pound guy on top of me, right? So yeah, I do believe that, and I do think that I can beat their whole team.
Awesome, awesome. So there's also another event happening the same day. So it's two events in the same day. Yeah, assuming, I don't know if you have enough time to watch the first one, but definitely there's a huge main event there. I wanted to ask you about that. It's Rainer de Ritter versus Anatoly Malikin for the light heavyweight belt. What are your thoughts on that fight?
That is a really good fight. You got somebody with the power prowess of Vitili. That's his name.
Anatoly, the light heavyweight. Sorry,
And
Anatoly, the interim heavyweight champ.
yeah, it's just a hard name to pronounce, but yeah, he's super tough. I've watched him fight a couple of times, and yeah, he has a lot of power, and you do not want to get hit by that guy. While De Ritter, he's just completely a mixed martial artist. So I think that De Ritter submission second round.
Submission second round. Cool, cool. All right, man. Just gonna switch over real quick to just some interesting stuff about you. I know you love to rap, man, but what got you into rapping?
I gotta give it to Eminem. Eminem made every white boy want to rap, but I just like to rhyme and flow, and it's just a hobby outside of fighting that makes me happy. So, yeah, mixed martial arts and rap. If rappers want to be mixed martial artists and mixed martial artists want to be rappers, so that's I want to find that middle ground.
All right, man. I don't follow the latest scene, but what kind of rap are you into? Do you like old school rap or like the new stuff that kids come out with?
Everything. It doesn't matter. Don't get me wrong. SoundCloud rap, it does get annoying after a minute, but there's nothing like some good old MF Doom. You know, the old school, old heads, Talib Kweli, got Most Def, you know, but yeah.
All right, man. I know you make your own raps. I've tried making raps before. Admittedly, I'm not very good at it, man. So I always cringe when I put lyrics together. But how do you actually make good bars, man? Like how do you get past the how do you make great lyrics?
It's something that just comes out of me. I don't know. It's just something that, like, I just studied rap for such a long time that it comes natural at this.
I saw the music video. No, it's no problem. I saw the music video one made for you for your, one of those previous raps that you did. Do you have one prepared for Joshua? Is this gonna be the best one
Oh
yet?
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, it's gonna be not a doozy, that's for sure.
All right, when's that dropping, man?
Probably day of fight or day before fight. That's
Yeah.
usually how we're doing it. So I kind of want to keep that momentum going and how it's been. So
All right, man. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to hearing it. Um, just got to ask this last question, man. I just got to ask you because all the Filipino fans are watching. You mentioned in the previous interview, I'm not sure how true it is, but you said you're not scared of Filipinos. Why would you be scared of Filipinos? You have a grandmother that's Filipino. Is there any, how true is that?
no, actually, she's not my grandmother right now. It was my um, grandmother-in-law when my mom married this guy named Rob. He was Filipino, and I still consider her my grandmother. But yeah, I grew up with a Filipino grandmother, and she barely spoke English. So I'm not gonna be afraid of no Filipinos when my grandma was chasing me around with a spoon.
All right, man. Interesting point there. Yeah, definitely excited to see you in Manila, man. We will be here. Everybody's going to be, Filipinos love fights. Doesn't matter who's coming, doesn't matter if, how much trash talk there is.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, respect can be earned, in the cage, definitely. Much respect to you,
Oh, for sure.
Jared.
Oh, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us in the MMA Superfan and looking forward to seeing you.
Oh, thank you, dog.